Is this the worst endorsement of all time? And certainly not an endorsement that you would ever consider bragging about. And that's what happened here the other day. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Thanks for joining us on KCMO. So the IRS Agents Union came out and endorsed Kamala Harris for president. I'm pretty confident I would rather have the local 42 chapter of Serial Killers Union endorse me than the IRS agents endorsement. And the fact that you had the Harris team bragging about this on social media, as if the American people were dying to find out how the IRS Agents Union was feeling about this election, which, by the way, I'm not surprised by that, since one of Joe Biden's overspending bills planned on hiring 80,000 more IRS agents. But if you want to talk about being out of touch, you talk about a campaign that brags about the IRS Agents Union giving them an endorsement. Nobody likes the IRS. Like, is there an organization less popular than the IRS in this country? When it comes to any bureaucracy in America, you can text or call it at 913-408-7957. But I can't think of one that would be less popular than the IRS Agents Union.
Of course, we're talking federal level.
Yes.
Say right here at the county level in Jackson.
You're right. If Kamala came out and said, hey, the old baseball player from the Royals, who's now a big shot county executive in the Kansas City area, he's endorsing me. Yes, that would be worse, at least for us here in Kansas City.
Well, certainly on the same level. So we want to separate federal from county and state around here.
Oh, man, that is great. 913-408-7957. I can't think of something or some group that would be less popular than the IRS agents. I mean, even here's the thing, right? Like, even people who are going to vote for Kamala Harris don't want to pay more in taxes. They don't. They just overlook that part of her policy because they can't stand Donald Trump and they've got Trump derangement syndrome. But they don't want, trust me, Taylor Swift does not pay a dime more in taxes than she has to. She has the most powerful tax attorneys in the country who make sure that she does not pay a penny more than she has to the feds. Every Hollywood celebrity, anybody who's on Wall Street who is, for whatever reason, endorsing Kamala Harris, who is going to drive up their corporate tax rates, but whatever, neither here nor there, they do not give the government more than they have to. They don't. They think other people should give the government more, but they themselves, never. They would never do such a thing. So I can't think of any group that would be less popular than this. 913-408-7957. That's our studio line and our text line here on KCMO Talk Radio. Let's go to Mike. He's in Kansas City. Mike, what's happening?
Yeah, don't believe for a minute that those 87,000 IRS agents were there to collect taxes. What they were there intended for was to shut people up or put fear in people. Like you go to a school board meeting or something, you speak out against something of the establishment. The IRS agents, they would stick them on you. They would find something in your tax background to put you in prison or at least harass you. And, you know, Sharice David needs to answer for that. This was an American version of the Gestapo. You know,
well, luckily they haven't hired. Luckily, they haven't actually hired any of these 87,000, as far as I know.
No, but that was the intent.
Yeah, well,
and I wish somebody would call Sharice David out on it.
Yeah,
because she voted to hire this American Gestapo.
Yeah.
Well,
here's the thing: we don't really know what they were going to do, right? What we do know is this much: it was never going to be about the rich person and making sure they're paying their fair share. You have your opinion on that, Mike. I don't think they were going to be used as some kind of Gestapo. What I do think they were going to be used for is to collect more tax dollars. But where can you collect the most tax dollars from? The middle class. There's only so many rich people that you can tax. And I mean like super rich people. And by the way, the super rich people have the best accountants who make sure they're not breaking the law while paying as little taxes as possible. The people who use TurboTax, who are making $75,000 a year, might make a mistake or two on their taxes. And that's where 87,000 extra IRS agents can come in and say, you kind of screwed that up when you did your little TurboTax deal last year. You owe us another $500. Oh, and on top of that, we got to kick in some extra fees and things of that nature. So we really need another $1,200. What do you say? That's how this was going to go. It was always about fleecing the middle class with the 87,000 IRS agents. But once again, the money's been spent, and I don't know where the money is. That's the other problem. When that headline came out after, I think it was part of the Inflation Reduction Act, because, yes, reducing inflation is all about hiring more IRS agents. It was like, yeah, they're going to hire these 87,000 agents, but I think there was some bill that the Republicans passed that yanked that part of it out of the Inflation Reduction Act, if my memory serves me correctly. But the fact that it was ever part of a bill, the fact that it was ever thought to be a good idea to bring in another 87,000 IRS agents is just laughably out of touch. And it also goes to show you that when it comes to things like getting the endorsement of the IRS Agents Union and then bragging about it, there's a lot of things that the Harris campaign has done that's been out of touch, like white dudes for Kamala, but this is right up there with it. Paul in Kansas City, you're on KCMO. What's up, Paul?
Yeah, Pete, exactly right. That inflation. If you want to know about Kamala Harris's ideology, read the Inflation Reduction Act. I have read the entire thing. And the government, if you work for the government, you use passive words shall and should and active words will and must. In that first paragraph, it says we should go after, nobody should be taxed under $400,000. That's the key. When he keeps saying she says nobody's going to be taxed that makes $400,000 or less, it's not active, it's passive. It should. That's what the 87,000 IRS agents are coming after, the small business owners. That's what they're after.
That's what it was always going to be about. It was never going to be about, the billionaire on the yacht. No way. Trust me, that guy's making sure he's paying his fair share.